Hey dudes and girls and guys and people. We will be starting in about just a couple of minutes. I need to fix something up. Just make sure you can hear me and everything like that. And we'll get into it. We're only going to be streaming for about an hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes, just because I have to go out at like 11:30. It's 10 o'clock at the moment. So we'll stream for about an hour and a bit, but I'll let you know in about 10 minutes away from finishing. But just let me take away this. Okay, hold on. I think I get rid of that. Okay, hello, how are we going? So let me move the chat down so it's properly down. Yeah, down. Okay, so we get it in. Oh, that's a bit too far down. A bit up, a bit up, a bit down, and a bit across. And a bit across, and a bit across. And a bit across. Okay, I'm just trying to fix this up so it's like nice and centered. Okay, so we'll start in 2 seconds. Okay, how are we going? Just make sure to tell me if the stream starts to get a bit weird. If like it, what do you call it? Starts to lag a bit. It says it's green. Even if it goes orange for me, it should be good. Yeah, so a lot of people are asking about the title. We'll get into that in a second. Because I know a lot of it. And for anyone saying it's clickbait, I've gone cancellation. So if you know what that means, then yeah, you know what we're going to be talking about. Oh yeah, 360p quality. Don't ask me. Okay, I think even if I was on like Supreme Internet, it would not be able to go 720p anyway because I'm on my laptop, and that's why it's literally pretty damn basic at the moment. Okay, well, we'll jump into it anyway. So basically we're gonna take questions. It's basically almost like a live Q&A because I'm not having a video today. I was gonna upload a video today, but I sort of ran out of time, so I thought, you know what, we'll do it in what do you call it, tomorrow. I'll just do a live stream now because I was gonna make a video on this specific topic, like around this, but we'll do it later on in this stream. Holy crap, okay, we just got 900 people in here. This must be a good time to stream, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, for people wondering what I've put in the title, okay, so there's the Flash Season 4, Arrow, and then we have Supergirl, Cancellation, Drama. So a lot of you guys wouldn't know this, but in about... Yeah, so that's what I'm about to get into, like the whole cancellation thing. So in the past, like, I want to say week and a half, maybe, there's been this like whole thing about Supergirl getting cancelled. Because if you didn't know, obviously we're on the mid-season break now. So we had the mid-season finales last week? No, the week before. Oh God, I've lost track of time. But yeah, so we've had them, we're in the mid-season break now. So all the shows are on break and they come back around January 15th. I think that's when Supergirl comes back. So if you didn't know, Supergirl comes back. It's the first show back out of the DC TV shows after the mid-season break on January 15th, I'm pretty sure it is. The issue is that, I'll get to your super chat in a second there, Ibrahim. The issue is that Supergirl's only around for I think 4 episodes, and then Legends of Tomorrow comes in and replaces Supergirl in that time slot, finishes off its season, and then when that's done, Supergirl comes back. So Supergirl's gone for like 9 or 10 weeks, after only being back for 4 weeks, after an already previous like 5-week break from the mid-season break. So a lot of people are thinking that Legends of Tomorrow, Flash, and Arrow is safe, but they like shafted Supergirl in order to, you know, just finish off Legends of Tomorrow and not have to push any other show out of their CW slot to accommodate not only Legends of Tomorrow, but also because Black Lightning replaced Legends of Tomorrow in its time slot. But I'll quickly just get to Ibrahim's super chat question before it goes away. So he asked, when Malcolm Merlyn died, why didn't no one care? I think it was more because Malcolm Merlyn had been around for so long, and he really should have been gone in maybe Season 3. Like, really, in Season 4, he wasn't very good. Season 3, he was okay. But yeah, when he came back, I think that was the only episode he was really in Season 5 towards the end, apart from the crossover. So I think that's why no one cared, because he'd really overstayed his stay, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think that's really why no one cared. But thanks, Ibrahim, for that super chat and the question. Guys, if you want to get your question 100% answered, you have to super chat like Ibrahim, but I will try and answer as many questions as I can. But there's a lot of people in this stream, so it's going to be pretty damn hard. But yeah, so due to that whole thing, with Legends of Tomorrow essentially replacing Supergirl in that time slot, there had been this whole rumor, like this rumor. It's a very shallow rumor, and I call it a shallow rumor when there's not a lot of sources for it, and basically it's almost like there isn't a source. So I'm not going to name the person who I think started it. I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to give them any sort of recognition, even though it's not really recognition because I'm sort of going to be calling them out. But I don't like to name and shame at the same time. So this person, some of you might know who it is. It's going to be like a really niche amount of people anyway that probably would know who it is. But essentially, they started this rumor that this source had told them that apparently, and this person says they have all these sources all the time that gives them this information, that they never reveal who this source is, and they also can't reveal specifically what this information is. So they can give like a vague explanation of it, but they can't actually go in depth with what this is. So they've come out and said, I've heard rumors that Supergirl is going to be cancelled after season 3, with no actual prior explanation as to why that is. So they're not saying it's because of low ratings, it's because the show costs too much, it's because a person wants to leave the show. There's no actual reason there. But this rumor has gained a lot of traction. Like, I think there's an Instagram post with like over 9,000 likes, which is a decent amount for Instagram, especially when it comes to like DC TV. Like, if it was a DC EU thing, maybe 20,000 likes would be half decent on an Instagram post. You know, bordering 10,000, that's like a pretty big post for a DC TV thing, especially regarding like a rumor or an information thing like that. So essentially, because of this, it started on Twitter, then it spreaded to Instagram through the same person, and then it spread just because it spreads like wildfire. It's just a small little thing, especially if people don't like Supergirl, they'll be like, yes, Supergirl's going to get cancelled, so they'll keep spreading it, hopefully, or just hoping, trying to like trigger people, or just try and spread it so it becomes this massive thing, and then like that would some way in turn like cause Supergirl to be cancelled in a weird way, because some people think like that. Yeah. Now I'm just reading some of the comments now because there is a lot of comments coming through. But we have Tommy with the £5 super chat. Thanks for that, Tommy. With what happened to Tracy Brander? She was meant to be a series regular. I don't know. They have said that she's meant to be coming back at some point this season. But they actually haven't talked about that recently. They just said in the break that Tom Felton was gone, so Julian Albert was gone, but Tracy Brand was still on their plans for later this season. So I don't know. Funny thing about Tracy Brand and Dudek, who is the actress's name, who plays her. I was watching White Chicks the other day. She's one of like the real sisters in that movie. So go watch White Chicks, and she like is at the beginning and the end of the movie. I was like, she looks familiar, and I was like, holy crap, that's Tracy Brand, but from like 10 years ago. But thanks, Tommy, for the super chat and the question. So maybe back half of the season, we might get more news on that. And then we have Man of Tomorrow. Is that similar to Legends of Tomorrow? With the $5 super chat going, do you think Kid Flash will ever see Reverse Flash on the TV show? Maybe. It's sort of hard. Like, it might be confusing because they both have the yellow suits and stuff like that. I think we're going to see Reverse Flash next season on The Flash, and Wally might be there for that. We have to wait and see what they do with Wally, because a lot of people think he's going on Legends of Tomorrow. I don't think he will. I think he's either on The Flash or he's not on a show at all. But he could be. I don't think it'll be this season. I think if it's going to happen, it'll be next season. But thanks both Tommy and Man of Tomorrow for the super chats. Back to the Supergirl thing. So this whole rumor escalated. As I said, I think it was about a week and a half ago. It might have been only a week ago, but I'm sort of like out of like the normal. I'm not in normal time. I'm in like the Speed Force at the moment. Just things are going at weird time frames for me. I'm not even. I thought it was Monday today, and it's actually Sunday. So that should tell you like 20 different things. But yeah, this whole thing has escalated. There's also the whole thing about like that petition that DC TV show started, which I respect, but I don't think it's going to really do much, just because like they would have been talking about these TV what do they call them? Like the TV settings, like what day they're on. Or scheduling, the TV scheduling. They would have had this set for a couple of months, and they've only just revealed it recently, just because it's the right time to reveal it. So I don't think that's going to change. But it's like that thing has gone hand in hand. Like it's pretty fishy. Like I always think it's really fishy when like a rumor comes up as soon as like some other sort of bad information comes around, like that scheduling thing. So it's almost like it's kindling for a fire. Like people use it to like light a fire or pour gasoline on a fire. Why is everyone typing in Gucci Gang? Anyway, so yeah. So Sorry, that just sort of threw me off. Thanks, Ninjago Master 09 for the £2 super chat. Very much appreciated. But yeah, so like, I always find it fishy when things like that happen. It's not like it was beforehand, it was a rumor, or like sometime afterhand, like maybe like 3 weeks. It was like around the same time, which I always find fishy. And that's when you should know it's a fake rumor. So that's the whole thing we want to get down to now. Just for this opening like 15, 20 minutes of the chat. I will take questions from anyone about this if they want to. But the whole thing to get down to about this is that if you do see rumors about this anymore, it's fake. Because the thing is that this person, this character, this individual who is spreading this stuff doesn't say who his source is ever, and he just spreads bullcrap. Like, that's the best way to put it. He's just spreading bullcrap, and you know, it just ruins the fun, and it just makes like me running my channel even a bit more difficult, because people are always saying, "Oh, Supergirl's getting cancelled. Why are you still reviewing?" It's like, it's not getting cancelled, for one, and two, the person who spread it is an absolute idiot. So it just makes things much more annoying for me. Don't know what's going on with Gucci Gang. Am I missing a meme? Hold on, just let me go to the meme app. Okay, Gucci Gang is there. Okay, no. Okay, I don't know why Gucci Gang is spreading on this thing. The stream will end in about 50 minutes to an hour. I'll stream for like roughly another hour, give or take 10 minutes. But Maddie with the €5 super chat. Who was the guy beside Caden James at the end of last episode? Was he a henchman? That was the guy that was working with Black Siren in episode 1, I want to say. And I'm pretty sure he's the guy that got her off the island. So I'm guessing they'll go more in depth with him, you know, when we come back from the mid-season break. But we really don't know too much. But I think that was the second time we saw him. No, sorry, I think that's the third time. We saw him with Black Siren in episode 1. Then I think the episode where Caden James debuted, and then that episode. So we really don't know too much about him. He just might be that henchman. But yeah, I'd say in the back half of the season we might learn more about him. But yeah. But thanks, Maddie, for the super chat and the question, because a lot of people have been sort of wondering that as well. God, yeah. No, this whole Supergirl thing, like I mentioned it in my live stream from a couple days ago. I can't remember when it was. But it just sort of annoyed me, just because I hate fake rumors like that. Like, I don't mind like people like theorizing certain things in a show, like, oh, what does this character mean? But when they try and spread something malicious and just try to, like, you know, because people really enjoy Supergirl. I like it this season. It's not my favorite show, but I do enjoy watching it this season, especially with what they're going this season. But a lot of people like try to, like, you know, punch down the show and try and kick it while it's down, even though it's not down. Now, the reasons that apparently like people were coming up with was that it was poor ratings. Supergirl has the second highest ratings on the CW. The first one obviously being The Flash. Now, when it comes to demographic, I think it's like number 5 on the CW. I think it's tied with Legends, or I think it's Legends. It has like the same sort of demographic rating or demo rating. Don't know what Gucci Gang is about. Yeah, so it has like similar ones to that. So its demo rating isn't as good. Like Riverdale and stuff are up there as well. I think Riverdale's maybe number 2 after. I think Flash is number 1 with everything, and then I think Riverdale is second with demo rating, but Supergirl's second with views. So yeah, you have to look it up. I know Supergirl is second with views though. And another thing that the whole another reasoning for it was that it was Andrew Kreisberg's involvement. So hold on. So like, it was a while ago now. Like, it was a month and a half ago. It's like the whole thing about Andrew Kreisberg came out, who was an executive producer on Supergirl and Flash. Like, he has worked with Legends and Arrow, but he's not an executive producer. He's just more like behind the scenes, like an advisor almost. But on Supergirl and Flash, he is like a showrunner or an executive producer. And on Supergirl, he's more focused over there. But I think this season on Flash, he's become more focused because one of the showrunners did leave last season. But what happened was he was involved with these allegations. He's been fired now. But the thing is, anything that he came up with that wasn't officially put to paper, if they use that, he can sue them. So they've basically got to scrap. If he had like a whiteboard, if they had a whiteboard in the writer's room, Andrew Kreisberg had been there, wrote different things down. Anything that he wrote, that he came up with, they have to sort of like go, oh, well, just pretend we didn't see that, and just wipe it from our minds, and we can't use it. That's basically the thing they have to do, because if they do use it, they get into a legal battle, and I don't think they can pay him because they fired him. There's something weird, like they can't use it even if they wanted to pay him. It's something about that. Yeah, I think Valor's going to get cancelled. Dynasty might stick around because it does get that Riverdale crowd. But Dynasty, not Dynasty, I think Valor will go because I think it's just a weird CW show. It doesn't belong in the CW. But yeah, the whole Andrew Kreisberg thing. So if they came up with this really cool things to do with like the Legion of Superheroes or Reign, they have to sort of like go back to the drawing board. Like they can do something similar, but they can't do what he did. So if he did some big twist or something or this big storyline, they can't use anything like too similar to that. They could, use similar themes or what he was going for, but they can't actually use what he was going for, if that makes sense. Flash faces the same issue. I think Flash is actually in a bigger mess because if you go back and watch Comic-Con interviews, is it Comic-Con? It was with Grant Gustin. It was a video interview as well. I think it was at Comic-Con. I want to say it was at Comic-Con. But he flat out said that this season of Flash had been planned from beginning to end. He knew specifically what happened, the whole thing. So he's not going to get any surprises like a Savitar reveal or anything like that. He knows exactly what's going to be happening this season, which is a big issue because if Andrew Kreisberg had a big role in that, which I think he most likely would have, that means Flash is going to have to do some scrapping. Unless there's a legal thing where because it was already written before Andrew Kreisberg was fired, it might be okay if it was already cemented. So Flash might be okay in that situation. I don't really know too in depth the legal proceedings of it, but Flash and Supergirl are the ones that are in trouble, in potential danger, because of the firing of Andrew Kreisberg, which, as I said, has given like kindling or put gasoline on the fire for the whole cancellation of Supergirl. Which, if you're going to say that about Supergirl, you'd have to say the same about Flash, which is weird why it's only going one way, not the other. Anyway, people asking about the title. I don't know if you can scroll back the stream. That's probably the best way because we really jumped straight into it. So if you can do that, that's probably the best way, and then slowly catch up. I had a mod in here. I don't know where he went. I've put the chat is on slow mode, so it should be okay. I did have a mod in here, and he's, oh god, I trusted him. I put my trust in him. I put my faith in him, and he's bailed. So that's a bit disappointing. I'm just gonna try. If you want to be a mod, just let me know. Yeah, Greg Berlanti hasn't taken over. He's just come in. So he hasn't taken over. Greg Berlanti is way too busy to take over the TV shows. Like, he's way too busy. Like, I think he'd almost be silly to do that because he's got to run that production company at the same time. It's pretty rare you're going to, like, he's not running it. He's stepped in, he's, like, assisting. He's overlooking it. That's the best way because Greg Berlanti isn't really overlooking it at the moment anyway. Beforehand, sorry. He wasn't overlooking it. Like, it was his production company. He's labeled as an executive producer, but he really wasn't involved with the shows. Like, he might overlook, like, big things. Or, like, have some, like, they might, like, say, Mark Guggenheim with Arrow say, do you think this is a good idea for the season? Greg Berlanti would go, hey, that's a good idea. Go with it. And stuff like that. But him stepping in, I think, is just more to help them out a bit if they do feel stressed. But I think they should be okay because, what do you call it? There's not, like, just one executive producer. There usually is 2 or 3. So it should be fine. I think he's just going to help them out if they do need help. Because one person brought up Andrew Kreisberg was involved with the crossover, which is true. He was involved with the crossover. His name was all over the crossover because he wrote it. I don't think he wrote every episode. I'm trying to remember if he wrote every episode. I think he might have wrote 2 of them or had a hand in 2 of them. So I'm just reading some of the comments. Yeah, so that was cemented. Like, that story had been cemented, which does make you think, okay, maybe the Flash won't be affected, but Supergirl might not have had its whole storyline cemented, which means I was still working on maybe some things to happen at the end of the season, possibly depending on character availability. Like, if you look at Flash this season, they're not really introducing too many new characters, and if they are new, they'll introduce fairly early, like Ralph Dibny and stuff. We're not getting like a Tracy Brand situation towards the end of last season, where we're meeting a character who is pretty pivotal for the most part to the plot, right towards the end of the season. It does seem like what Flash has done is set things up early, like we might meet another character towards the end, but they would have like locked them in now. So there's like, everything's cemented, which I think is why they might not have an issue with the whole Andrew Kreisberg thing. But Supergirl, they might have things with like Legion of Superheroes, trying to still cast certain people for it. That's the issue that they might face there with Supergirl, and why things might not be concrete. Oh god, that was tough to get through. I'm not gonna lie, that was tough to get through. And there's still people coming in saying is Supergirl cancelled. If you can scroll back the stream, that's the best way. But the best way to sum it up, the whole Supergirl thing is that someone started a rumor, and the rumor got rolling. It went down the hill. It was a snowball, like a little snowball like that. It went down the hill. It slowly got bigger, and a lot of people are believing it. But the thing is that this person, I'm not even going to mention who they are because they don't deserve it, because they're very frustrating. This person who started it has no source. He's made it up in his own head. He's like, sat there one day, goes, you know what, I'm bored. I'm bored. I'm just gonna, if I can get him just like 4 people to believe this, it'll make my day. So he's done it. It's slowly spread, and just unluckily for people that just are sort of sick of fake rumors, it's built up momentum, and then the snowball's got bigger. It's an avalanche of just BS, and yeah, it's gained a lot of things. And a lot of people do think that Supergirl's going to get cancelled. Yeah, I have seen Star Wars. I saw it, I think the last time I streamed, I was going to see it that night. So that would have been Thursday. Yes, that was a while ago, actually. I thought it was only like 2 days ago. So it was like 3 days ago, I guess. Then I went and saw Star Wars. So I enjoyed it for the most part. It wasn't... had some flaws. Like, the pacing was really weird. Just kept cutting all over the joint. Should you watch Supergirl? If you can watch like a recap of season 1 and 2, which like focuses on like main storylines that continue on throughout the series run, try and do that, because I think it's hard to get through seasons 1 and 2. But season 3 is definitely worth watching. I think season 3's only had maybe like 2 mediocre episodes, while the rest have been pretty good. And like I think they've had like 2 or 3 like really good episodes. Like, it's definitely not the best show. Like, I think Flash and Legends are still better than Supergirl, but I think Supergirl's better than Arrow this season, if I'm going to be completely honest. But then again, Arrow last season was very average for the first half and got really good in the second half, and ended up being the best season. So you can't really judge everything until the seasons are actually over. Yeah, I hope it doesn't get cancelled as well, because, we've got Black Lightning coming in as well. That's going to be 5 DC TV shows on the CW. You want it, hopefully they can schedule it next year where it's a show every night. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like, if they can do that, it'd be pretty cool. I think that's the best way to go. And then they can use that to prop up other shows. So they can chuck a couple of new shows after them. So all these shows, all the CW, DC shows are at 8 o'clock. So it's like, they're all at 8 o'clock on each respective night of the week. And then at 9 o'clock after them, they have a couple of new shows. And then maybe have Riverdale and probably Supernatural or something as well. So they should do that. If I was scheduling CW, that's what I would do. I think it's the smarter option. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. Depending if Black Lightning's in the Arrowverse. I guess that's the big question mark around it. Ooh. What am I doing? It's only 10th. It's 10:23. I'm actually going to the Warner Brothers studio tour today. So it's like they have like all the Batmobiles, like if you type into Google Warner Brothers Studio Tour LA, I guess, you'll see what I'm doing. So they have like all the Batmobiles, like a big Wonder Woman display. I think there's a Batman display, another Batman display with all the suits and stuff. So it should be pretty cool. I'm going to that in just over an hour. So that's why I'm going to end the stream in about 40 minutes or so, just so I'm already ready, but, just to give me 10 minutes to get properly ready, I guess. Legends is the show that's probably at the most at risk at getting cancelled. That and Arrow. Arrow because of ratings, and Legends because of cost. Legends costs a lot to make. Them and Supergirl are actually sort of basically tied. I think Supergirl's just ahead of Legends in regards to cost. If you're asking why Supergirl costs a lot of people have sort of wondered why it costs a lot when they ask me. The CGI, because Supergirl's flying a lot, and it's her. It's not like the Flash, where it's just a bolt of lightning and then like a CGI figure. Like, a lot of the time it is Supergirl on strings. They have to like work that into certain scenes, and also they film outside a lot with a lot of like destruction. So that's what sort of props up Supergirl's cost. And that's why with Supergirl sometimes you'll see a lot of episodes where it's a lot indoors, because they're saving money to use on a bigger episode. So we just got a super chat there from Chill BBE Music, and goes, "You think we'll ever see Superman again? Future crossover?" I guess it just matters on as I sort of hinted at before with like Supergirl, and like it's maybe like the season not being concrete in regards to its storyline, it sort of matters on actor availability. So if Tyler Hoechlin is available, bring him in, you know. But I think he's filming like back-to-back movies at the moment, so even if they wanted him for the crossover, they wouldn't have been able to get him. But I hope we see him maybe towards the end of this season, just for like, you know, I think they should do something similar to the Flash. We're gonna have Flash in like episode 13 and 14 of each season. They have like a 2-part story. So in season 1 it was the Firestorm. In season 2 it was like their journey to Earth 2 and discovering all of that. And season 3 was Gorilla City and stuff like that. Supergirl should do one where there is a 2-episode arc each season where Superman comes in. I think that'd be really cool. I think it'd, you know, meet everyone's Superman needs, if that makes sense. A lot of people do want like a Superman show. I think with Supergirl in the air, they wouldn't do that. It just takes some steam off Supergirl. Because a lot of people, like, there is a lot of people that do watch Supergirl to meet their, like, Superman needs. Like, because Supergirl does use a lot of Superman characters and Superman storylines, so that's what they do. They'll watch that to fill their Superman needs, if you know what I mean. So I think they should do that, like a 2-episode arc every season for Supergirl, or even just a 1-episode arc, if they want to do that. But yeah, have a Superman in every season. Just make sure you get on Tyler Hoechlin's case and bring him in. Are you going to do videos for Titans when it drops? Yes, I will. I would have done a video on like the whole Robin thing when that came out, but I think I was getting ready to leave for this trip. So yeah, and someone asked if I'm here for business or holiday. I'm here for a holiday. So yeah, I'm going to Warner Brothers Studio Tour today, which should be pretty sick. Best mid-season finale and weakest shows so far for you. Best mid-season finale. I did like Flash. I think Legends probably had the weakest. Arrows was really weak for the first half. Like that first half of that Arrow mid-season finale was bad. Like that was bad writing, just bad everything. Like if you got, not even the first half, like the first 10-15 minutes, like the early city like wedding reception was bad. And that's not me trying to be biased. It was just done in a really cringeworthy way where there's a thing that like blew up on Twitter. Like I think it got over 1,000 retweets or something. And it's the scene where Felicity walks in to the wedding reception in slow motion and that really cringeworthy song. It was bad. That was really bad. But yeah, I think it was Flash just because of the revelations and stuff like that. But Supergirl was really good as well. But yeah, Legends and Arrow. Actually, Arrow's just that first 10 minutes. You have to say that Arrow had the worst mid-season finale. But Legends wasn't very impressive. Its mid-season finale. Because I was expecting Constantine. And I think it did a lot of weird things with the whole Martin Stein thing as well. It sort of like, you know, crapped on what they'd done in the crossover. So I felt a bit weird. Yeah, it was silly, but I wanted, you wanted to feel like a mid-season finale. It didn't really feel like a mid-season finale. It just felt like it was an episode before a mid-season finale. Like almost like the Constantine episode should have been the mid-season finale almost. Because I know we're meeting Malice in that episode. So you think that would be the mid-season finale. Anyway. What do I think of Snow Barrier? Well, I don't think it's ever going to happen on the show. I'm surprised they never went with it. While, like, you know, Iris was off doing it with other people and stuff like that. I'm surprised they never did Snow Barrier. But I think they were always going to do Iris, West, and Barry Allen. I think they were always going to do that. But yeah, I am surprised they never did Snow Barrier. Like, I'm very, very surprised. Maddie with the €5 super chat. He goes, were you surprised that Flash and Arrow dissed the Olicity first wedding? Not really. I thought it was pretty, like, a lot of people were getting really angry at, I think Iris makes a line, like, at least they didn't crash their wedding. It's something like when Felicity interrupted the wedding and, like, ruined Barry and Iris's wedding. So Iris said that, and, like, all the Felicity people on Twitter were, like, fuming, like, their heads exploded. Like, maybe they really did explode, but, like, yeah, their heads just went really red like a tomato, and it looked like they were going to kill, like, I think they were attacking Candace Patton. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know they were not very happy. Like, there was a lot of posts about hating on Iris West after that line, which I thought, calm down, it's a goddamn TV show, don't try and execute people over it. For people wondering, like, why'd you say it's cancelled when it's not cancelled? Cancellation, it's almost like, you know, it's in air quotes. as if to say it's not real. If you're wondering about the whole cancellation thing, I don't know if you can scroll back. Like, that'd be the easiest thing, if you can scroll back on the thing. Like, that's the easiest thing to do. I don't know if this stream allows it. Not too sure. Because you can go right back to the beginning. It should start around there. What was I going to say? But to sum it up, essentially someone started a rumor on Twitter. The rumor was fake because it had no sources, but it built up steam. And a lot of people were believing it, asking me about it, asking other people about it. So it just sort of got me annoyed. I was like, okay, I'm just going to do a stream trying to explain it as best as I can. Why not to believe it, and what the excuses or the reasons that they had for it were, without actually having a source. So if no one has a source, don't believe it. Unless they actually are the source. Like, say if someone took a photo of Reverse Flash back on set for The Flash. That's their source. Like, they took that photo, so they're the source. They don't need anyone else's confirmation because they were the one that took the photo. What is your favourite movie of the year? Jesus. Can't remember. It's hard. I always like things from last year, end of last year, sort of like leak in. And I also don't like picking favorites as well. So I've liked it. Like, if you asked, like, did I like a certain movie, I'd be able to tell you if I liked it or not. But I can't really pick anything out at this moment. I'd have to sit down for a good 20 hours or something and write a list. Yeah, Super Chat is basically you click that little like a dollar emblem sign under the chat, and you can donate a certain amount and then leave a question, and it will 100% get answered. That's the best way to say it. Yeah, I can't, like, Logan was this year, wasn't it? Yeah, that's weird. Like, Logan feels like it was ages ago. The other show, like, yeah, like the renewing of the shows comes around. I want to, like, last season they were renewed really early, and that was sort of a good thing because what it allowed them to do was set up the seasons. So they were allowed to, like, plant little certain like seeds for the next season, which allowed the next seasons to start just to, you know, flow a bit better. So they were able to do that. Like with Arrow, I think Arrow probably took the best advantage of that with, like, you know, Caden James and Black Siren. They probably took the best advantage of that. I think Flash went sort of okay with it with Tracy Brand, because I think Tracy Brand was an afterthought. Like, they didn't plan to use her that season, but by bringing her in after getting renewed, I think they might have had plans for her this season, but then they might have gone away with it. So yeah. Did Legends really do anything? I'm just trying to think of Legends. Like, Legends ended with that whole thing stuffing up, but that's just a cliffhanger, so they could have just done that whenever. And Supergirl, like, they did the rain thing at the end, but I can't really think of anything else. Maybe Alex and Maggie, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, we have Chill BBE Music dropping the $3 super chat. Are the Al sisters dead? Is Artemis dead? I think someone told me that, I think it was in my Q&A video or something, that someone told me that, I think, Slade references that Nyssa is alive. Not sure about Talia, and in regards to Artemis, we don't know. Like, that's one of those things where I think we're just sort of led to believe they're dead, but I'm pretty sure on the island, Nyssa was going to get Artemis out of the cage. She was going to free Artemis so she didn't die in the cage, I guess. So I wonder if she ever made it there. I can't remember if Slade ever said that, but apparently Deathstroke in the episodes did say that Nyssa had survived. So if anyone wants to confirm that in the chat, let me know. Agent Sharp, I'm not too sure what they're doing with her, because I think going into this season, they said that Sarah, was going to have, like, a love interest. But, like, it's, like, halfway through the season, and, like, Agent Sharp is still the only one that's there. So you'd have to think that maybe it's Agent Sharp, and they seem to be, like, getting fairly close. They seem to be, like, have good chemistry. I think Katie Loss has decent chemistry with most people anyway. So yeah. Guacama Idiot dropping the $5 super chat. Do you think this year's two-part episode will be about the Reverse Flash? Also, do you think he'll get a new suit like Barry's? Well, I think they have filmed episode 13 and now they're on a break. So I haven't seen any set photos. They might have only filmed a bit of episode 13, but episode 13 and 14 is that two-part thing. I would like to see Reverse Flash. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot about the multiverse, just because I think that's what they're going to go for. They're just going to explore the multiverse a bit more, whether it be we go to Earth 19, maybe help Gypsy out with some stuff. But I think if they're going to do like a Reverse Flash origin thing or something around the Reverse Flash, save it for another season where he's the villain, because I think we're going to get another season in of the Flash, might I say, where Reverse Flash is the villain. Like, I think we're going to get that. But it's going to be like obviously a different Reverse Flash. Like, it would be pretty cool if it was like a younger Reverse Flash after he's like idolized Barry. I think that's maybe what they'll go for, or what I would like to see them go for. This season, I think they might just do something about the what do you call it? The multiverse, something, another Earth in the multiverse, around that. But yeah, but thanks Guac Media for the super chat and the question as well. Oh, in regards to the new suit for the Reverse Flash, probably not, because he's just from the future. I think he's just going to keep that suit. I think that's what they're going to do. I think they won't change it too much. I like the Reverse Flash suit as well, like the whole how like the yellow but it fades into black and stuff like that. I like it, so I think they'll stay with that. But yeah, thanks Guac Media for the $5 super chat. And then we have Sam. Hello Sam, welcome back to the chat. With the $5 super chat, he goes, "What are your thoughts on the idea for Arrow Season 7 implementing the character Lady Shiva because of her connection with Richard Dragon?" Well, it would be pretty cool if in the past Richard Dragon had connections with Lady Shiva, and they bring that over into Season 7. Now, this isn't confirmed. This is, a lot of you might think this is an info drop or an info bomb, because I don't think a lot of people know it. Michael Emerson, who plays Caden James, recently said that his schedule is clear. Or someone mentioned that his schedule is clear. Arrow is like only filmed 13 episodes, maybe 12. So if his schedule is clear, he's off Arrow by episode 12 or 13, or maybe by episode 15. He's gone. So does that mean Richard Dragon is going to take over? Like I said he would. I said it would be weird if Richard Dragon wasn't the leader for this group and he wasn't the big bad, because Richard Dragon is a badass. So why wouldn't you have him there? So I think that's what they're going to do. I think Richard Dragon's going to probably kill Caden James, or maybe Caden James might get arrested, who knows, but you know, Richard Dragon, just kill him, pop a cap in his head. So I think that's what they're going to do. But it would be pretty cool if they do sort of connect Richard Dragon to Lady Shiva or something along those lines. Just because we know he's got all these martial arts skills, we haven't seen them yet. I think we're going to see that play out, because I think what they're doing with Richard Dragon this season is playing him down, and it's pretty obvious that like everyone's going like, he hasn't done anything, like why are we meant to fear this dude? But that's because I think they're trying to, you know, play him down a bit, and then he's going to come out and just like with a bang and just prove how, like, you know, how much of a threat he is. And I think that's what we're going to see with Richard Dragon. So I like the idea of implementing like Lady Shiva and like having her connected with Richard Dragon, but I think we just have to wait and see how it plays out, and like how Richard Dragon became who he was. Like, we know he was in prison. They haven't revealed that yet on the show, but we know through character descriptions and stuff like that, he was like wrongfully imprisoned and stuff like that. But we're gonna have to see it properly play out. And they might, you know, maybe not name drop Lady Shiva, but give like hints to it, or he will give hints to it at least. But thanks Sam for the super chat and the question as well. Daniel, we sort of talked about Supergirl for like a good 20 minutes, I think, before, but if a lot of people are asking about the title, you should be able to scroll back like to like 3 minutes into the stream, and we'll probably be talking about the what do you call it, all the Supergirl stuff. Like, we talked about it for a good 20 minutes. And if you do have any other questions, the best way to do it is message me on Twitter, like, or tweet me on Twitter. That's the best way to put it. In regards to Jax, he's gone. Apparently he's just gone off Legends. I don't think we're going to be seeing him back, at least this season, unfortunately. But they didn't really do anything with him getting new powers and stuff like that. It would just sort of be a passenger, like literally, on the Wave Rider. So I think it's right to get him off the show. Have you watched The Ray yet? No, I have not. But I am. Let me know, are all the episodes out? Or they do the thing with Vixen where they release like half of them and then released half later, because I'd rather watch all of them in succession, because they're like short little like 5-minute things. So are all the episodes out? Because if they are, then I might I might watch them on the plane or something like that when I'm going back. Sorry. Ooh. Will Anatoly die this season? I guess it matters. Like, it matters how, like, lethal and, like, yeah, lethal, I guess, Richard Dragon is. Yeah, I don't know why Vigilante's there. It seems a bit weird. Hopefully they dive deeper into why these certain people are all teaming up. Because all of them would have a big ego for the most part, so you think, why would they all be teaming up? Like, villains don't necessarily team up all the time. There has to be a good reason for it. And it's not like Team Arrow is that hard of a force to go down. Like, really, like, if all of them, it only take like maybe 2 or 3 of them, if that, to really have a go at Team Arrow, especially at the moment where they're all broken. Do you watch the X-Men show The Gifted? No, I do not. I'm actually waiting for it to be like completely done for this season. I'll like binge watch it essentially. Do you watch Marvel's Runaways? I've actually watched the first 3 or 4 episodes. And yeah, I really enjoy it. I think it's really good. It's very different. I actually am very much enjoying it. But I'll watch it more when I like get back and stuff like that. Are you excited for the return of Roy Harper? Yes, I am. Interested to see how they go with him, because he's only back for a short arc, like I said in my video from like a couple of days ago, or a few days ago. So he's only there for maybe 3-4 episodes at the most, so hopefully they do well with him and not just bring him in just to serve another storyline. Like, hopefully he's there for a proper reason. Do we have Guac Media with a $2 super chat? Do you think Roy might be Caden James' son? I don't think so, because the thing is, as I was sort of mentioning there, apparently Michael Emerson's filming schedule is clear around the time that Roy's meant to be back filming. Roy's coming back to film, I think, in January sometime, so that'd be maybe episode 14 or 15. I think, actually, no, he's coming back for 15. That's his start. That's the episode he's coming back. So he's back for episode 15. And I think Caden James will be gone by then. So I think that's the whole thing. I think Richard Dragon, like, stamps his foot down. Like, he's killed Caden James at this point, and like Roy, and they have to bring Roy back in. Like, dude, like, we are screwed. Like, this dude is just a maniac. He's got all these forces behind him, and that's why Roy's brought back in. We don't know what Team Arrow, like the state of Team Arrow is at that point, like whether it's together or not. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that could be going on at that point. As to why Roy's brought back, but I don't think Caden James will be on the show at that point. That's just my prediction. But that theory was a big one, that Roy might be Caden James' son, because of like the issue that Roy had with his father beforehand, like not really knowing him. But I don't think that's going to be happening. But thanks for the super chat anyway, and the question, Guac Media. Sorry if I'm looking down at my phone. There's just something going, like a notification won't go away. You know when you have like a notification and you click on the notification, but it still won't go away? Okay, I think I've got rid of it. Did it go away? Success, it went away. Yeah, the Reverse Flash working on Earth X, like, it wasn't really done clear, but I think it's more because they didn't have a lot of time to make it clear. But my understanding was that he just wanted to mess with Earth 1 without actually being affected by that timeline, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's very messy whenever they involve the Reverse Flash after Season 1, because, like, he should be dead. You know, he shouldn't exist. So, he exists out of time, but it's still really confusing when they bring him in. Wouldn't Dominic's body face the same problems as DeVoe's body faced? Well, I think the reason he was able to go into Dominic's body was because of the telepathy thing. I wonder if they're going to explain that. I think they will, but I think it has something to do with his telepathic abilities as to why Dominic's body wouldn't disintegrate, or why his mind wouldn't absorb all the energy from the rest of his body. I think that's what why DeVoe was so in need of Dominic, and why he was willing to pay like Amina Black like a ridiculous amount of money because of Dominic's like telepathic abilities and his just brain in general. Do you think Black Lightning will also be cancelled? I don't think so. I think Black Lightning will get enough of a fan base, like around maybe Legends ratings, or at least in between Arrow and Legends ratings, to stay around for season 2. And I don't think Black Lightning is an expensive show to make. Any show like that is going to be pretty expensive to make, like its filming setting and stuff like that. So they should be pretty well off and definitely get a season 2. Matt Morgan with the £5 super chat. Do you think Alex and Maggie will look after Ruby, and then maybe they fully adopt her by the end of the season, or this changes Maggie's mind? I think, regardless of Maggie, I think Alex will adopt Ruby. I think that's they're sort of setting that up. That like there's a sort of like bond there, there's a connection. Ruby likes Alex and stuff like that. So I think that's definitely what they're going for. Sorry, there was a certain comment that I wanted to read. Okay, it's all good. It doesn't matter. I think by the end of the season, what happens with Samantha? I think Samantha's gone. Like, a lot of people might think that she might become Superwoman or Superwoman. I think they're not going to do that because it's just a bit too, conflicting with Supergirl. Yeah, Alex, we'll get to your question. Is it Alex? Oliver. I was saying Alex, that's why. But Oliver, we'll get to your question in a second. I think Alex will adopt Ruby. I'm not too sure if it will change Maggie's mind. I'm not too sure what's going on with Maggie Sawyer in regards to if she's ever going to come back to the show. I don't think her farewell was that good, so that might leave the door open that she might come back. But it could be a reason as to why she comes back. Like, she just might not want to deal with a baby and like a toddler. So if the kid is already like, a bit older, then Maggie might be like, yeah, I'm sweet with that. But thanks, Matt, for the question, because a lot of people have been wondering about that. So yeah, thanks for the question and the super chat as well. And we'll go up to Oliver's super chat and question. He goes, what shows are going to be cancelled and why? Thanks for the £2 super chat, Oliver. Well, none. That's the thing. That's the whole thing. That's why it says cancellation, because there's all these. It was around Supergirl, and also I guess you could say there is some like possible news about Arrow because Arrow's ratings are down. But wait until the back half of the season when we get to renewals, because if there is a little stink around if Arrow might not get renewed, then we'll talk about it then. But the whole Supergirl drama was that someone on Twitter started a rumor, then he moved that rumor over to Instagram, where it gained a lot of momentum, if you want to call it that. And a lot of people started to believe that Supergirl was getting cancelled, but the person didn't have any source. No source. Or just source. Was it? No ketchup, just sauce? Whatever it is. But yeah, he had no source. And when you're going about spreading information and spreading a rumor, you got to have a source to it. Like, you got to have a picture, you got to have like, I heard it through the grapevine sort of thing, but he's not giving a source, just saying, I've heard it from a source, but not actually giving the source or what this source said. So there's no actual backing or backbone to this rumor, but he's just spreading a false lie, essentially, or false truth, or fake news, if you want to call it that. So, yeah. Arrow is cancelled, leave it. I don't think it's cancelled. I think if it got like maybe like below 1.1, then it might be in trouble, but I think it should be sweet. Yeah, in regards to mods, I had a mod here and he sort of bailed, which I'm sort of annoyed at, so he might be taking off moderation duties. I want to get back. This will be my last stream for about almost 2 weeks, I guess. Maybe I'll see if I can do another one in the next couple of days before I leave, or when I get back to Australia. But when I get back to Australia, I'm not at home. I'm down in Sydney, where my mum lives, for about a week and a half before I actually go properly back home, where I have my proper setup and everything like that. So I might have to wait like another 2 weeks to probably get that done, but we'll have to wait and see. But I'll let you guys know. No, I'm not the biggest like photo taker and vlogger, if you want to call it that, or just taking videos and stuff. So if you follow me on Twitter or Snapchat, you would have seen some stuff. Like today, I'll probably post some stuff on Twitter and Snapchat and stuff from when I go to the Warner Brothers thing. But there's not going to be any video or anything like that on my channel. I might post a picture on here in a video randomly. I'm like, oh, I saw Batman or something at the Warner Brothers thing. But yeah, I'm not going to post any videos or anything like that. But if you do want to see anything like that I might post, the best place is on my Twitter or my Snapchat. So follow me on both of those if you want to possibly see them. Do you think any DC TV show won't get renewed? I think they're pretty sweet. I think they should be fine. Like, as I said, I think Arrow is probably the only one at risk. But yeah, guys, we're only going to stream for like another 10-15 minutes. So if you want to get any vital questions in, let me know. Do you think they had West Allen happen so fast because they are planning to break them up later? I think they just rushed it because like they had played like Will They Won't They for so long, and then it got to season 4, and then I think they wanted to move on into other storylines where maybe there wasn't that relationship drama, so they sort of just rushed it. Like, it was rushed. Whether you like West Allen or you don't like it, like, it was rushed pretty quickly. Like, I think even the people that do like West Allen were like, yeah, it sort of felt a bit unorthodox, a bit weird. I think they rushed it just to get it over and done with, so then they can move on. You could actually say the exact same thing about Olicity on Arrow, because they did the whole Will They Won't They. Everyone thought it was dead, and then like within like half a season, if that, they're back together and married. It's really weird. In regards to Olicity especially, but with the West Allen thing, I think they just sort of tried to just get it over and done with so they can move on. But I don't think they'll break up with it. I don't think they want to do any more relationship drama for the most part there. Daniel Pickering with the £5 super chat. Thank you very much, mate. And he goes, do you think Black Siren will get a decent redemption story? I am hoping so. I am hoping they do something decent with Black Siren. They did heavily hint at it, not only at the end of last season, but in the mid-season finale when she goes to Quentin, run. Like, she tells him to run and to let him go when she was meant to kill him. So I wonder if that's going to come back and bite her in the ass from the other people. But there's definitely a hint there. So she's definitely going to get a redemption story. It just matters maybe if she survives the end of the season. They could do something where maybe they kill her off, which would be pretty risky because they killed Laurel off, and everyone knows what the reaction to that was. Not very positive. There was a lot of anger behind that, which forced Flash to bring in Black Siren, which then forced Arrow to bring Black Siren over from the Flash into Arrow. So I think if they could rewind time, they probably wouldn't have killed Laurel. I don't know what they would have done. But yeah, so I don't think that'd make them the same mistake twice. But then again, how many times have they done Olicity? And that's a big mistake, and they've done that multiple times. But I think she'll get a decent redemption story. Hopefully they don't rush it. Hopefully, like, they do play it out slow. A lot of people might not like that. A lot of people might like an episode where it's all contained in one episode, the Black Siren redemption story. But I'd rather it be a storyline, maybe the whole back half of the season, but like a good 3/4 of that back half, where it's Laurel or the Black Siren, or Earth 2 Evil Laurel, whatever you want to call her, connecting with Quentin, or at least caring about Quentin. And Quentin is like that rock that's the center of that redemption story. Like, Quentin could die, and maybe that's what makes Black Siren like team up with Team Arrow to take down whoever it is at that point who might have killed Quentin or at least had a hand in his death. But yeah, I think it'll be decent. I'm not going to say it's going to be amazing, but I think it's going to be half decent at least. But thanks for the super chat and the question. It is very much appreciated. Oh yeah, so about 10 minutes. Who was it? I'm not going to scroll up because it's going to take too long. You send a Anchor, I think that's your name. You send a super chat on. You have to be on your computer, I think, and you click the little like dollar emblem under the text box, and then you can just leave any amount, and you can leave a question, and 110% get answered. David Garza with, wow, the $20 super chat. He goes, just supporting the channel. David, that's very much appreciated. That's very generous of you. Thank you very much. Will we ever see Speedy / Thea? And I don't know. I think with Roy, like, they did sort of hint with Roy that Thea might be going when Roy leaves, when he comes back for that short arc or whatever it is. Thea might be going with him. And I think that's what they should do. When will you stream the next live stream? Probably around this time. I don't know. It's hard to tell because I was gonna stream today, but I actually wasn't gonna stream for until maybe 6 hours after this, like the afternoon American time. But I stream now because I was up early and I thought I'll stream before I actually go out today. So I can't really confirm, but the best place is probably on my Twitter. And ask if I'm going to live stream. I might give a hint half an hour ahead that I'm going to live stream. That's probably the best way because I just sort of do these spontaneously. Who did you want Vigilante to be? I don't know. When the Vigilante I think the Vigilante thing was born to be, it was bound to be disappointing because it came down to being 3 options, which were that dude, Vincent Sabel, I think Captain Pike, and um, what's his name? Paul, Curtis's ex-husband. Like, it was bound to be disappointing. So, like, they worked Vigilante into this, like, corner where it was always going to suck, the reveal. And I think no one cares about the character anymore. When, like, at the beginning of this season and in season 5, everyone was, like, so invested on who the Vigilante is and everyone was liking the character. Now no one literally cares about the character. So, that had, like, a big, like, oh my god, it's awesome. Oh my god, it sucks. Like, it had, like, a massive roller coaster dip. Any chance Thea and Roy join Legends or Titans if they actually do leave Arrow? Probably not, because I think Willa Holland might want to get off the show just so she can move on to other things, because she is like connected, like on a contract. I think Roy is just there to fill, not to fill a void, but like to just be back on the show for a bit, but not be like a main cast member, if that makes sense. Were you disappointed in the lack of death in the Arrow season 6 opening? Yeah, sort of. Like, there was literally no stakes. When, like, a whole island exploded, there should have been at least a couple of deaths, not the really expendable character in William's mother who everyone thought was going to die anyway. So, very disappointing in that. And, like, the whole excuse was that, like, oh, it leads to other things, like Diggle having the strap on his arm, but, like, no one really cared about that, I don't think, for the most part. Like, yeah, it's some sort of, like, character moment for Diggle, but it's not a massive moment, like, oh, I got some metal in my arm, it hurt my nerves. Like, you know, it's a minor thing, it's nothing major. Like, really, there wasn't anything major going on there. Apart from maybe, like, Oliver saying the Deathstroke, you know, or Slade actually has some sort of, like, humanity in him and was willing to help him. Yeah, we'll be doing Titans videos when the show comes out, whenever that is. I hope we might get, like, more first looks. Like, I'm hoping for, like, a Beast Boy look very soon. And even, like, a Starfire and Raven one as well. Ragman, who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see him again. He's a bit too overpowered for Arrow, in my opinion. Should they keep Constantine on for Legends at least this season? Well, he's only going to be in that one episode, episode 10. I don't think we'll see him again. Maybe at the end if they want to bring him back for that. But I think if he's successful, they should try and work in a Constantine season 2. And put that in the CW. Like, why not? What's the Flash news? Diane, what's the Flash news? Am I missing something? Did this news just break? Let me bring out the phone. The good old phone that won't unlock. There we go. I'm trying to see if there's any news. How does the community section work? It's just like I can leave whether it's like I can leave stuff there, whether it's a poll or a question. Like I did, I left a thing saying there to leave questions for a Q&A, and that's where I got my questions for my most recent Q&A video from. I think it was yesterday or the day before. I think it was the day before yesterday. But yeah, so it's pretty handy for that. I can't see any of this news that's apparently out. Yeah, because we're going to end the stream in like literally 5 minutes. For those wondering what this, like 5-10 minutes, one of the two. The cancellation, it was a rumor, essentially. Sorry if you've been here the whole stream, but like, you know, I sort of have to do this. There was a rumor going around that started on Twitter from someone who just likes to start drama, I guess. It didn't really pick up much traction on Twitter, like maybe 9 likes, which is nothing when it comes to like news. But then he moved it to Instagram, where Instagram, basically, if you just spam hashtags, you're going to get 1,000 likes regardless. Just because people like auto-like, if that makes sense, to get followers on the Instagram. So that happened, and the post got like, I want to say 8,000, but I think I said 9,000 earlier on, because I think at this point it would be 9,000. I might actually look while I'm telling you this story, or recapping. So essentially, this whole thing gained momentum, which in turn just caused drama. Like, that's the best way to put it. Like, I'm trying to see how much this It has 8,844 likes, this post. So that's not good. Like, really, that's not good. For DC TV, like, 10,000 would be on, like, a exceptional post on DC TV. Like, a flash post, like, a really important flash information or something like that. So essentially, because of that Instagram post getting a lot of likes, a lot of people started to believe it, and actually people think that Supergirl is getting cancelled. And I just wanted to reiterate that it's not getting cancelled. That it is cancellation. It's a rumor. This person didn't have an actual source. They essentially made it up to just cause drama and to stir people up. Like, I could name and shame whoever this is and tell you who it is, because they are another person on YouTube. I won't actually say who it is. Some of you might know who it is, if you do, like, follow people on Instagram and stuff like that. But yeah, so they spread this rumor and stuff like that, and without any sources, and it's just annoying. I hate it when people do that. Just why? Like, they're just trying to trigger people. That's the best way to put it. It's like when like people were saying before the season that Olicity was dead when there was no real source. You know, like, I don't like Olicity, but I was like, yeah, it's probably gonna happen again. Like, I'm not denying it. It's probably gonna happen. Mule Kick with the £5 super chat, very much appreciated. How would you rank the CWDC shows based on their current season so far? Keep up the great content. Thanks for that, Mule Kick. How would you rank the CWDC based on... Okay. Even though Legends had quite a disappointing mid-season finale, and even you could argue episode 7 was pretty disappointing, like the Grot episode, because it really didn't add too much. I think Legends is still up there. Flash and Supergirl are actually tied for me. I find it hard to separate them both, because I think they both had the same amount of really good episodes and the same amount of, like, mediocre episodes. So I can't really split Supergirl and Flash. Like, they actually are tied for me. Even though I thought the Flash's mid-season finale was a bit better, but Supergirl had a really solid mid-season finale as well. And Arrow's down the bottom, but even last season, I thought Flash and Legends were better than Arrow for the first half. Arrow just had a really good second half of the season and, like, blew it out. Because Arrow's first half of season 5 is average. Go rewatch it. It's fairly average. It's really that back half where, like, the whole Prometheus reveal happens and Adrian Chase just goes full on psycho and is just messing with Team Arrow. That's when it gets really good. The back half of Arrow season 5. So yeah, it'd be Legends just over Supergirl and Flash, who are tied, and then Arrow. But Arrow, once again, has a lot of time to pick up on that, because, as I said, the first half last season wasn't that amazing, and they really kicked it off and smashed it in the second half. Well, there won't be a Flash Supergirl crossover. I think it's Fusion Fighter. There won't be a Flash Supergirl crossover this season. There's no musical crossover this season. I don't think they're ever going to do another one, just because it is hard to work that, like, premise into these TV shows, unless they literally bring back Music Master. So yeah, the whole thing was just, it's really weird, the whole Supergirl situation. Like, I don't know who greenlit that, but we have to move on. Like, it's not going to change. I know the petition's out there, as I said before, but I don't think anything's going to change there. So yeah, we'll just stream for like another couple of minutes, guys. So if you have any last minute questions, just leave them in the chat, and we'll try and get to you as quick as I can. Just because I need to start getting ready before I go. Don't want to be, racing the LA traffic, which is another thing completely. Why did Barry let Reverse Flash go in the end of the crossover? Well, I think it's just because he won't kill. Like, Barry's never going to kill Reverse Flash. Which is actually funny that they do that, and then, like, the whole next episode after that, like, Barry got sprung with the murder of DeVoe and the Trial of the Flash storyline starting. Because in the comics, Barry kills Reverse Flash, and that's what starts the Trial of the Flash storyline in the comics. So, I guess it's a little bit of a parallel there. Or at least a funny moment. Do you think Alex will join the Legends? I don't think so. I don't think we'll see Alex Danvers leaving Supergirl. I think she'll be on there. But it would be interesting if they took a character from Supergirl and put them on Legends, though. Will Renee return to the team? So he's talking about Wild Dog and Arrow. Eventually, it just matters, I guess, how long. Because we know in episode 10, the mid-season premiere, that there's going to be like 2 Team Arrows. There's going to be like old Team Arrow and new Team Arrow. And they're going to be probably trying to fight the same force and just get in each other's way. So that'd be pretty interesting. Will they do Trial of the Flash? Well, someone told me that episode 10 is actually called Trial of the Flash. So they must be doing it then. When do you think Ralph Dibny will get a suit upgrade? I don't know when he's getting it, but I think the guy that plays him, Hartley Sawyer, said that he's getting a new suit this season. He just didn't know when. He just knows when he's getting it. He just knows that he's getting it. He just doesn't know when. Sorry. Thorn origin story. I think we'll get that eventually, but they might wait for a season where, you know, Thorn is actually the villain again, rather than just like sort of like smash it in the middle of another season. Like maybe I think they should wait till Reverse Flash is the villain again. Okay, I'll answer one more question, guys, and then I'm actually going to go. So we'll answer. Do you think Dawn Allen will come to the Flash soon, like Dawn Allen did in the crossover? Well, there was actually no confirmation that was Dawn Allen. We're just led to believe it was. I think it's Dawn Allen, but it could be Jenny Ognat, who is the granddaughter of Barry and Iris and the daughter of Dawn. But I think we're going to get that maybe next season. They might do like a whole Flash family thing and then involve Reverse Flash as well. But yeah, that's probably the best explanation as to what I can give there. I don't think we're going to see them this season, at least all of them. We might see that girl back again, and then we might actually learn who she is. But she's definitely a descendant of Barry and Iris, like 100%. Like, she looks mixed raced, and obviously she was at Barry's wedding and freaking out about it as if she was like excited to see it. So yeah, but oh, I thought someone was making making a noise in my room. I thought it was my phone. But yeah, that's it, guys. So I'm gonna go. Thanks to everyone that joined in, watched the stream, left questions, all of that good stuff. Next time I can tell you that I'll be streaming is at least 2 weeks from now, but there might be one stream in between that. I just can't confirm that. But once I'm back from overseas and back home properly, there'll be streams on the regular. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Follow me on Twitter and Snapchat to see everything I'm doing. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. And yeah, farewell.